rise. And now, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursted in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday! This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 6, episode 1, the 5-year anniversary edition of this fine programming. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Beer Baron, Shorts Guy, and Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal, as we're going to be talking about a brand new season of New Jersey Devils hockey, as we're streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Lots of winning on this fine Sunday. The Mets win.
Not my fantasy team.
The Jets win.
I haven't even
The
checked
Giants
mine.
win. The Yankees win. The Devils lost on Saturday, but that's okay.
Yeah, they did.
Devils are 1-1.
They won,
in
and
the challenge.
yeah. All right. Is that it? That's all you have to say?
Is that it? Is that the whole
That's it? You
intro
like
right there?
petered out? Is
No,
that
I
it? You
just-
like faded yourself
I
out with the
heard
music?
echo. I hear an echo.
Ran out of gas?
Just an echo in my ear. Either that or somebody had their phone on, and I was hearing myself in the background. I don't know who that was.
No. I think that's the voices in your head telling you how amazing the Devils season's going to be. Maybe that's what you're hearing. That's what
No,
you're
how
hearing.
about
Alexander Holtz Holtz scored a couple of goals. Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be. I'm very excited for this year, more so than I've been in the last couple of years. Last year, I remember saying to Scotty, "I'm very apprehensive," and he goes, "Don't be apprehensive. We're going to be good." And I was like, "All right, I want to buy in, but I can't." And he's like, "It's really good. It's okay. PK Subban all the way." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And then I was right, and he was wrong, and we all know the rest. So, but this year, and look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that logo.
Beer Baron, you only have one job to do this summer, and like I said in the group text, I normally don't compliment you, but you did an outstanding job on our new 5-year logo. Just amazing.
It is pretty
on
nice.
time, under budget. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Budget.
Yeah.
Wait, you were supposed to get paid for that?
Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a labor of love. 5 years. I can't believe we've been doing this for 5 years. That's pretty wild. sitting here talking Devils hockey, and I mean, listen, this is going to be the first year in a while that I think there's a positive vibe and a positive energy around the team. There's a lot of not high or lofty expectations. It just feels like what Jack was doing last year, what Nico was doing last year, like a lot of things that were starting to come together. It's not like, oh, they're going to have to do this. It just feels like, okay, I think we're ready to take a step up. And it seems like there's a common thread throughout the NHL where there's a lot of guys that are saying, like, dude, New Jersey's going to be pretty good in the next couple of years. So hopefully this is the year that we start to see that change.
Yeah, that's my hope too. I have it just, as long as goaltending is figured out, I think we'll be really, really I can't even think of the word. I feel like it's been forever since I've been on the podcast, but we'll be oh man. Yeah, I think we're going to be a team that's going to be on the rise, like everyone else is saying, and I think we're going to be at the very least in the conversation for a playoff spot. I'm not trying to get my hopes too high with the way the last couple seasons have gone. Mm-hmm. But I do think that if we get our goaltending figured out, then we can definitely be a team that, I don't want to say deadly, and I can't think of the adjective I can't think of a proper adjective right now, but I think we're going to be a team to reckon with. If we
sneaky team?
Just a team to reckon with if we can get our goaltending figured out with everything else that we have in place. If the new guys that came in over the summer can gel very quickly with what we have, and obviously too, if everyone can stay healthy.
I think what a concept!
I know, what a concept, right? Yeah, if everyone can stay healthy, I really think that we have a really good shot at making the playoffs. And once you're in that playoff tournament, anything can happen. You just got to get hot at the right time. Who the hell knows how far we can go? We just got to get in. That's the first step, is getting in. And I think being at the Rock, come late April, early May would be phenomenal to do again. It's been forever since we've done that. But that really would be my hope for this season, is just at the very least make the playoffs, at least be near, the conversation for the playoffs at the end would be nice. And then obviously getting into the playoffs would be even better.
Yeah, definitely. I'm searching here because, I was looking for some of the highlights from the Prospects game the other day. Obviously, Holtzy, 2 goals, almost a third, bringing one off the post. And if you didn't see it, Nemec's setting up Holtzy for just the blast one-timer, like down on that knee, just, man, crushing it. And then Foot set him up for another one that went off the post. But apparently, one of the old goons there from the Canadians, who was a John Parker Jones, took a big hit.
That is a goon name. That's a goon name.
Yeah, it is.
Like, with a name like that, like, hey, who's that guy over there mucking it up? Oh, John Parker Jones. Oh, he sold me cigarettes in the parking lot too. That's definitely that same guy.
If they've got 3 names, they're
okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
If they've got 3 names, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're either a goon or you try to assassinate a president, one or the other.
Oh, man. Or you play bass in Led Zeppelin. You could be John Paul Jones. This is John Parker Jones.
There you go. That's true.
There you go. But no, apparently he threw a monster hit on Nemec and put him down in the corner, knocked his helmet off, and you know me, I love me some Nikita Ahoytuk. Apparently was there in a split second and was ready to defend his defense partner, and ended up dropping the glove. So I was looking for a little fight video here, but I can't seem to find it. If anyone on YouTube and Facebook, hello to everybody. What's up? Nice to see you. It's been a while since we've done this. If anyone's got a fight video, because I couldn't find it on Hockey Fights. And I see like highlights of the game everywhere. So I was wondering if they had a fight vid somewhere. But if anyone knows where you can find that, hit us up with a link. But love seeing that snarl from Ahoytuk as well to go with the pretty plays with Nemec, just setting up that Holtzy. Woo, baby, that Holtzy shot was fire.
that shot was also his own follow-up too. So if you watch the play, he took a very similar shot, and got his own rebound, sent the pass over to Nemec, and then got the pass back and just unloaded one. And that's what you hope to see this year. I mean, he's saying all the right things. The kid is going into camp, and he's saying all the right things. He's saying he's ready. He's been working out with Jesper Bratt over the summer, and his skating it's definitely been a thing of concern, but it looked like he's been flying out there. He looks, by all accounts, it seems like he's beefed up a little bit. So hopefully, because I think we're going to need him. The Devils need to have that legitimate, scoring threat that they can, possibly throw into their top six. Now, that is also a ton of pressure to put on this kid going into his second NHL year. But I think he has what it takes. He needs to translate what he did last year in the AHL into the NHL, and then not worry about the expectations, but just go out there and produce. Go out there and play your game and just do your thing. And if he can do that, man, that would be huge for the team. Yeah. And that's obvious, but it is.
And it seems like, kind of seeing him in Sweden, play in Sweden, there is obviously the larger ice surface, so you can see him kind of just floating in the background and kind of losing the defense, or the defense losing him, and end up being wide open. And that's the thing here in the North American side with the smaller rink surfaces. Is he going to still be able to accomplish that, on those smaller ice surfaces? And he looked good in that. And now, of course, it's just a prospects game and it's the first of the season. But even Kevin Dineen talked about it in the postgame presser too, about Holtz just coming in and ready to play. It looks like he put in a lot of off-season work, and he looks ready to, at least attempt to make his name at the NHL level. So I liked what I saw. Like the prospects of it. We'll see how it goes, because I know we've seen him before, and he didn't look quite as ready up there at the NHL side of things. Is this the year that he takes that step? I know Sam Wu was talking about it. He was like, Holtzy! He's got his
hand raised.
Sorry. Well, do one of the teachers want to call on him?
Yeah, Sam, go ahead, please.
Oh, here it comes.
The thing about Holtzy is he's following the Jack Hughes model. Jack Hughes, first year, got tossed around. They told him in the exit meetings, you got to put on some weight, some beef. He did that.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
And same thing with Holtzy. He took it to heart, and he worked out all summer, put on some beef. And the concern is that going to make him less agile? The new beef he's got, but so far he seems like.
Oh, fantastic! The new beef he's got.
How much beef does he have? Yeah, is that in their hockey card on the back, like their stats? How much beef percentage?
Ice time, and then right behind ice time is our average ice time is beef. How much beef percentage?
Oh it's like instead of OPS, it's like OBS. How much beef?
What's the percentage of beef this kid's got? It's like war. It would be more like war. Like
bar. Beef above replacement.
Bar. This kid's beef is through the roof. I mean, he's got like a 986 beef. Oh my god.
That should be a new special stat right there. The old beef percentage.
The beef rating. The beef rating.
Spit out.
What's his beef?
What's this guy's beef?
What's this guy's beef?
There's some analytic nerd going, I think these guys are onto something. Maybe I got to go put that into the stats. This might be one of those X factors, if you will. Beef percentage. His bar. What's his bar? Oh, my God.
You're going to hear him talking about it at the draft next year. But you will not believe this kid's beef. I mean, he has got beef like none other. His beef is like he's got like 10-year veteran beef over here, and he's only a rookie.
And they start comparing other people's beef. They're like, look at this guy's beef. I mean, his beef is for days. For days.
You know, when they all talk about the intangibles there and all the 5 tools, skating, physicality, shot, and of course beef.
Hold on. In the YouTube chat, we got a suggestion from oh my goodness, Beefalytics.
Beefalytics.
Hey, where's the beef?
There it is.
But by the way, every time we call him Holtzy, I always think of Letterkenny. That's just like anytime you call a guy like Holtzy.
I've still not watched that.
Dude,
still not watched Letterkenny.
And Shorzy is so good. That show's amazing. You need to get on it.
I know. I have to find time to watch a series like that.
Yeah, it's true. It's mindless though. You could literally put it on the background and just listen to, like, when you're doing papers for, school or doing stuff for work, put it on in the background, because sometimes it's like so dialogue driven. That's all you need to do is just listen to the dialogue. It's a classic.
Sounds like something I should put on when I'm screen printing. Maybe I'll try that next time I'm printing.
100%. Yeah, that's because like it's not like a show where you're like, oh, they haven't talked in 15 minutes. Did I miss something? And you're like, oh, why is that guy dead? Like, what happened? Like, it's nothing like that. So circle the wagons all the way back. We're still in like summer form because we're not, fully in. I see the Devils have a couple of PTOs that they have offered. And the first question that I have, because I have to look up who the actual, PTOs are again, because my brain's not fully back into podcast mode. So one of you guys, while I'm mumbling over here, just look up who the PTOs actually are. But anyways, so they have a couple of them, and I know one of them is a defenseman who used to be on the Islanders or whatnot. My question is,
is it a Hickey? No.
Yeah,
yes, Hickey.
Was it Thomas Hickey, or did he re-sign with the Islanders?
No, I'm pretty sure that's who it was. I don't know. I could be wrong. But my question is, if they have these PTOs, I thought they were like $73,000 under the cap. There's somebody else too. Let me look it up.
Zach Senyshyn?
Yes, from Pittsburgh. Yeah, and Thomas Hickey, formerly.
No, he was Zach. Zach was from Boston. It looks like.
Oh, Boston.
At least he showed, Boston, and then Hickey was from the Islanders. So there's our PTOs.
We've also talked about this before. Is there more moves in the making and stuff like that? We know that Bernier is not going to be ready. Will he be moved to long-term injured reserve? I think that's pretty. So there's ways to get some money. We still don't know what's going to be made out of the Damon Severson situation with him being on a contract year. Same thing with Ryan Graves. We have a few others as well. With Janssen, that we've heard rumors about, nothing concrete, but, we've heard rumors here and there. We know definitely, teams are going to be interested in a Severson or a Graves. So, but I feel like that would probably more be like a trade deadline type of thing rather than this. But I think your money is going to come from probably Bernier being placed on the long-term injured reserve.
Yeah, more than likely. I think that's it.
They can make that move sooner rather than later with him, and I hope they do that.
The scouting report on Thomas Hickey does not have good beefalytics at all.
No beefalytics? No?
Undersized for a blue liner in the NHL. That's what I'm reading.
But he's had some devastating hits in that playoff game against, I think it was 2 years ago, the playoff game against Tampa Bay Lightning. He had like one of the most devastating Scott Stevens hits I've seen in quite some time. Listen, it's a veteran defenseman on a relatively young core. I mean, you have a pretty solid defensive group, and I think it's just bringing in like another. I don't think he's going to be really competing for anything in camp, but who knows?
Extra defenseman.
He might come in, and it's pretty much
someone
what it
might
seems
get
like.
hurt.
It's just
someone always gets hurt, but I honestly, if someone gets hurt for the long term, I think they're going to go down and call someone up. If someone gets hurt in the short term, maybe that's where you see Hickey. I don't know. Maybe he felt Brendan Smith. I don't know how much gas he's got in the tank if he needs a couple games off, but he should be down on that bottom third pairing. So he shouldn't be playing big, massive minutes, but we'll see. Every year, dude, someone gets hurt. So, and in this day and age of the old COVID, we all know what it's like behind a hockey bench with the amount of spit and sweat and disgustingness that's like flowing through the bench area over there. Someone is bound to get sick at some point. So it's good to have some backup, and you'll be relatively cheap, even if it does pan out. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, I mean, if they sign him to like a 2-way contract, where they can just stuff him into, a Utica until they actually need him to come up to the yes, Aaron Jones. I'm sorry. I have to celebrate one. There you go.
He may not. Great. Awesome.
I'm not playing you, so it doesn't matter.
I'm losing to a guy who started 2 guys that are out this week. Okay.
Even a guy who can't think said something. All right, but anyways, listen, man. The way I look at the whole situation of bringing in any of these PTOs, sometimes it really works out. Like you get like surprises where a guy will come in and actually like work out. I thought VZ was a pretty decent PTO last year, and he ended up being like not like the club did anything, but he was a decent piece of that puzzle for a while. And I thought he gave himself like an opportunity to get another contract this year, but lo and behold, he ends up going and signing back with his whole team. It's like going back to your ex-girlfriend. Ain't going to work out, pal. It's just going to be more heartache. But but it was good to see him there. And I mean, they've had like decent PTOs that come out and, end up being good trade bait during the middle of the year. So who knows?
I'm really hoping that that maybe this season will be the first season that we're not in the selling phase at the deadline. That we're at that point where we're potentially 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and we're bringing players in. That's what I want to be. I want to be bringing players in at the deadline. We've come so accustomed in the last couple of years to like, oh well, these players would be great at the deadline. We can trade them. It's like I would rather be bringing players in instead of shipping players out to make that push. So I'm kind of hoping that we have turned that page and we're going to be bringing players in at the deadline instead of trying to figure out who we're going to, say goodbye to.
I think it might be an interesting dynamic where the trades that are made can really end up. I mean, just talking about Severson and Graves, if neither of those guys is extended, by the time the season starts, or I don't know, some people don't mind negotiating during season, but I know a lot of players are like, no, once the season started, I don't want any negotiations going on. But if both of those guys are available at the trade line, someone is going to come calling for them, even if the Devils are in a playoff push. And I can only imagine the highway robbery we might be able to pull off by trading a Severson and Graves at the deadline.
So right there is what you're saying right there. That also depends on what the team is doing. If the team is doing well and they're in a position where they end up having to trade either Severson or Graves away, which I hope they don't. I for all the crap that Severson gets, I always liked him, and I always think he's gets more hate than he deserves. But that's kind of typical. Like there's always one scapegoat. Andy Green was that guy for a long time. Paul Martin was that guy for a while. There's always like one dude that just people hate on for whatever reason. I know.
I used to love him and hate him, but I used to Johnny friggin' Oduya. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Before he went to Chicago,
that was another one.
Every time he would skate backwards, I felt like he like fell down. I swear. Every time he would someone was on the rush, he would just fall down, and I'd be like, Johnny, no,
Johnny, oh no, do you?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. That's what I call him, Johnny. Oh no, yeah.
Even Rafalski, even Rafalski used to get hate too, and it never made sense because I was like, dude, he's one of our better defensemen. After Niedermeyer and
Stevens or Niedermeyer,
that's the problem. Is it'll never. You'll never be a good enough goaltender.
Oh,
nope.
Yeah, exactly. You'll never be a hard enough checker, open ice checker.
Nope.
Because we had Stevens.
all those checks are illegal now anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're
I'm
never
pretty
gonna
sure
see
he
that
would have been
again.
banned from the league.
A lot of guys have been banned for the league. Oh man, back
yeah.
then. Woo.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Dude, you
those look
watch-
like
Some of
one
checks
of my
those
favorite things to
Tony
do-
Twist fights or something, or Kelly Chase. Oh man,
I
Tony Twist
watched-
and Kelly. Oh my god.
I watched the 1995 Stanley Cup VHS clips of it on like YouTube. Right? What is it called? Heaven something heaven. I can't
Heaven
remember.
Sent or something like that, or Second Heaven or
something
something.
or something about heaven and hell and heaven, some whatever. And there's a couple goals that they show, like highlights that they show, and the amount of like just the dudes were getting like just hooked and grabbed and pulled.
Oh my god.
And
yeah.
how they were able to still. That's why, like, a lot of people are like, oh, Wayne Gretzky wouldn't be able to score as many goals as he did now. I'm like, dude, do you realize, like, yeah, goaltenders weren't really, as, I don't know, agile and athletic as they are now.
No, they weren't.
But at the same time, you were getting mauled as you're going up the ice. Like, he had an easier time where he could take a slap shot from the blue line, and a goaltender would be, like, standing on his 2 feet, like, trying to kick it away, and it would go right in. But at the same time, you had to deal with, like, people could just straight up mug you like it was New York City in the 1980s. Like, just go over there, like, take the puck away from you, take your wallet, date your wife. Like, it would be bad. You'd be in the corner laying down. Like, you didn't, unless you had, like, a McSorley or a Twist or somebody like that backing you up. Like, you were getting mugged in the middle of the ice.
Oh, and it looks like the defenseman's in there. He's pulled a knife on him. He has pulled a knife on him.
And that was normal. That was normal.
He demanding you give out the puck. I mean, that's just a classic move right there by the defenseman.
Classic. Oh, he must be a Broad Street bully. Who knows? This is a great game. Oh, and now the stands and they're fighting. One of my favorite clips, not to go off on a weird tangent, is Maple Leafs Flyers where Ty Domi's in the penalty box and some like moron fan.
Oh, the fan flies through there.
Gets into and then like the fan falls into the box. It's like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog
Ty
is going
Domi,
crazy.
obviously, I hate him, but I would love him if he was on my team.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Such a little guy too. Standing up.
Yeah, but I would never tell him he's a little guy to his face. He would punch my face into the back of my head.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Sorry, if you heard like a weird noise, my dog is going crazy in the other room.
He's the guy like you would be at a bar and be like, "Oh yeah, tough guy, let's go outside," and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh boy, this was a bad idea."
Yeah.
And your underwear is like up over top of your head, and you're like just bleeding from every orifice. That 5'6" guy just kicked my butt. That's Ty Domi, man. What do you expect?
Did you hear how Ty Domi befriended that guy afterwards? How that all went down?
No.
What?
Yeah,
You're just making that up. What are you talking about?
No. This is a true story. So after that incident happened, that guy from Philly, I guess his cousin is a attorney.
Oh, the fan through the glass.
Yeah,
oh,
the
okay.
fan. Yeah.
I thought you meant someone getting his underwear pulled over his head, like when Ty Domi beat him up outside of a bar. I was like, what?
No. And I guess the entire time, like, I guess he was going to sue Ty Domi. And they just kept on delay to the point where Ty Domi was just, can we just settle with this guy? Because the legal fees are starting to pile up, like a couple $100,000. And then finally he just called him up and said, hey, can we just bury the hatchet? And the guy's like, yeah. And then they just met up and it was, he told his cousin, drop the suit. Yeah, pretty much.
They had a Molson and they watched a couple of curling events and they were good.
I think the juniors tournament is on.
Gonna want to go watch the Worlds? Which one? Juniors. Okay, we're in Canada. All right, sounds good. There's nothing else on, anyways. You want to watch that football where the receivers can start running before the snap? That's weird, right?
Oh man.
Well,
either way, what the hell were we talking about? I don't even remember now.
Oh,
We're
who knows,
way
dude.
off topic.
I tell you one thing. I got my tickets for opening night, and I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm bringing my kids are going to the game, and my wife is going to be coming. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. I have to behave myself, apparently. So, no tall boys in the middle of the game for me, I guess.
Tall boys, eh?
No, I'll be on I got to mind my P's and Q's. But dude, I haven't been this excited for an opener in a while, and it's been. I know we kind of go down this avenue, and we say this every year, and especially like the year where we drafted Hughes and we, traded for PK Subban, and it felt like the team was really turning that corner, and we laughed in the Rangers' face, and we're like, "Ha ha, Adam Fox, who's that?" And then that didn't really go so well for us. But anyways, like this year
we
feels
got some
just
good ones coming too.
Before. It feels optimistic. It just feels optimistic. Not crazy expectations, just optimism.
Okay,
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I feel it too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things about this team. I mean, we've added a lot of depth to this team that we didn't have before in experience. I know we talked about it. I think me and Shorts Guy talked about it. There's Lindy Ruff had said, now there's like 4, 5, 6 guys with like over 500 plus games experience on the team, with Palat being on there, with Hulson and, Severson as well for the time being. But I think I can't remember who else he was saying, escaping me right now. Oh, Thomas Tatar, still being there. Yep. We have these guys now with more experience that we can lean on. Brendan Smith, that can really, give this team the direction that they need at times when you're young and you're growing and you're finding Marino as well, been around for a while, but younger players can get off track very easy. And having these guys, especially a Palat, like a proven winner, like this is a guy that they can follow in those times. And it's finally here outside of the big draft picks like your Jack Hughes and your Nico Heishers that you knew were going to be, in the lineup from day one. All of these draft picks that we've been blahing about for the last 3 years are finally like ready to make their push into the NHL. It's not another, they're going to be, we're going to take some time and development. A lot of these guys are getting ready to take that next step. And, it's, that also creates a lot of excitement because there's going to be hunger to win.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Plus, even some of the younger guys are now, 2, 3, 4 seasons in. They now have experience.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting experience as well. And then the AHL guys, they've had some experience winning down at that level too. So you got a lot of guys that have been in the system, or you have a lot of guys that have been up here with us that have, now gained experience. So we're now at that point where we have brought in experience, and we have guys, our young guys have gained experience the last 2-3 years. So it should hopefully be a very good combination of older experience, new experience, and then just to gel together and to get it done.
And you got guys coming from.
They have a goaltender.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to. I was going to say that, but I feel like that's what I say at the end of every conversation. Or at the end of every one of my points is, goaltender.
Even at the bank, they're like, so do you want to make a deposit? Yes, but even now we have a goaltender. And they're like, sir, you just have to leave. Like, you've been here for an hour. But we also have been bringing in guys from places of winning, like cultures that are winning culture. You bring in Palat, who's coming from, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's, I know a lot of people think that that's kind of like a bogus thing, like, oh, culture is this and blah blah blah, and you can manufacture culture. You can in a way, but when you have a team that's been winning, like the Tampa Bay Lightning have, when you have a Marino coming from Pittsburgh that's been a perennial contender that's used to being in the playoff picture, that stuff goes a long way to a team, especially like a core of kids that have never really tasted playoff success. Nico Heischer, his rookie year, got into the playoffs and they won one game against Tampa Bay, and that was it. And for the most part, like him, Jesper Bratt, Severson, there's a couple guys that have like the quote unquote experience, but that's not really experience. That's not going beyond the first round. That's not going into a deep run where you have like, multiple opportunities to extend it into like a game 7 or whatever. So having the experience of a Palat, having experience of a Marino, I think is going to be great for some of these younger guys, even guys that have been around the league for a couple of years, and Jack Hughes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just, yeah. I'm waiting for you to be like, yeah, and blah, 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 blah.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head right there.
Hey, Lazard for a touchdown.
Really?
Is that? Yeah,
wow,
Lazard
okay.
with a touchdown.
I finally got some points. Maybe I can only lose by like 20 points to the guy who didn't flip out his roster and started 2 guys on the injured list. So,
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Well, unbelievable.
I have been fantasy footballed, my friend. and not in a good way. But either who. Anthony LaPena. What if they let both Graves and Severson go and use for trade bait?
But what are you replacing them with?
Nemec, Walsh, Ahoytuk, Kevin Ball.
So, okay. I don't think
this is I'm thinking at the trade deadline, and who knows what you can get back.
If the team's in the toilet, yeah, you do it, because if you know they're not coming back, you get
even
whatever
if
you
they're
can get.
not in the toilet, though. But I mean, like, if you have these players to call up and to play, do you?
No,
just
but
make
you got to look at
those.
No, but you have to look at the structure. Like, you have to look at. So, for example,
you risk losing them for nothing in the off season.
Well, yeah, 100%. Like, you don't want to do that. I mean, like, you need to take a look at the team and be like, okay, remember last year when Hamilton and that's another guy, by the way, coming from like winning culture, coming from Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have Hamilton and Graves playing like the way they were at last year at their best points, when they were really clicking, they were a top paired defense, pairing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, let's say Graves and Hamilton are paired up and they're just lights out for a good stretch going into like, the trade deadline, the Devils are hanging around, like maybe just hanging on to a wild card spot, or just like right there where they're competing every night, where you could see them making it into the playoffs. Then you have Severson, who's paired up with whomever he's paired up with, but still very serviceable. He's got, maybe 15 points at this point. If both of these guys are playing pretty well and you can get a good return, maybe we can get like a scoring forward to put on the top line, and you can bring in like maybe one of the guys in the AHL is ready to make that jump. Like, okay, Walsh is ready, which, by the way, I know a lot of people don't think about this kind of stuff. Walsh's number is now 8. So if you notice like these little things, like once they start changing your numbers to like NHL numbers, that's usually an indication that they're like, okay, we want you to either come up and stick around, or we're looking for you to make that next big jump. So
yeah,
his number's been changed, obviously Nemec, but
if you lose Severson and Graves, just in the hypothetical that Anthony was bringing up there, then you have like Siegenthaler and Marino. And a Brendan Smith, obviously, who I don't think you're going to play on your top pairing. But would you be able to move a Marino or a Siegenthaler up to the top line with Dougie?
You might have to.
I think you could. But I mean,
or is it one of the younger kids that comes in, or is that where I hope not a Thomas Hickey playing on the top line? That means we have some real issues if he's our top line defenseman.
or he's balling out of control, or he came in and like, PTO my ass, and he's like gone out of control. So. I'll show you my PTOs. Look at the beef on me. So,
but Graves and Severson are probably like gonna play with Dougie. So. Or no, wait. Dougie and Severson are both right-handed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't. No, yeah.
So if you
Yes.
if you would trade, see, maybe you don't trade both. Maybe you I think that's what it is. You re-sign one and you trade the other.
Yeah, but Walsh is right-handed, and I think so is Nemec. So if
We got some right-handed defensemen coming up.
so, Graves
And old Luke.
Graves being your
Luke
and
is on the
Luke.
other side. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, Shorts guy froze, but he froze in a beautiful pose. I was going to say you
now he's
had
back.
such a nice
there he goes again.
nice pose going on.
It just looked like everything we said was really funny because it was like he was just about to start to laugh, you know? So it was like every one of our jokes. Every one of our jokes worked. That was great. But right now, you know, if you look at cap friendly for the Devils on defense there, they got Dougie, Marino, Severson, Graves, Siegenthaler, Smith, and Nemec. That's the way it's listed.
So they're counting them on the team, on the big club. Listen, man, some kids can make that jump, and some people think like some can. Defenseman's a lot harder. We've talked about that, but I don't know. Maybe he's ready to go. Maybe they see. I mean, listen, we still have the preseason to go. You still have actual camp. So who knows what actual camp is going to be, and who knows what the preseason is going to be? But
I'm just shocked that they have him listed there for some reason. I don't know why he wouldn't be down with, you know, like on the AHL level, but that's weird. But either way, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a thing with rookies and I don't realize or something like that. I don't know. But so if you do get rid of one, I mean, do you get rid of both or do you get rid of one?
Well, I mean, if you can't extend them, so you're saying like you can't extend one or the other, or you can't extend them both.
You can't extend them both. You have to.
If you can't extend them both, then you trade them no matter where you are. Like if you, as a GM, if you know at the point of like mid-season that neither of them want to re-sign, and you're gonna lose them, then you move them 100%. But the thing is like, I don't know if you I don't know. I really think it depends on like just like what's the output, because Graves is. I think if you're going to keep one of them, you keep Graves because he's going to be cheaper, and I think you can get more for Severson. So that's kind of like the approach that I would go.
Yeah, I think you're correct there, and I think Severson would definitely get in the 6s for his contract. Yeah, Graves might be more in the 4s to 5,
like a Siegenthaler type of. I don't know. I think he would be comparable to Siegenthaler. 3.5, 4 around there somewhere.
Yeah, I think he'd be up in the upper because he has shown offensive side to his game as well. So I think he would be near the 5s, but I think definitely Damon Severson, especially coming off last year, he had a career year with points and everything. So if he continues that this year, his stock should be through the roof. And he's going to be looking for a long-term deal, obviously, at his age. You know, and he's probably going to be the more expensive of the two. So
and then it gives you...
it's a tough call. And I know, but people were asking about him last year. We saw like the rumor reports that people were asking about Damon Severson last year.
And
especially I think Vancouver, right? Wasn't Vancouver scouting him there for a while? I think.
I mean, that's all debatable because those are like, you know, around that time they start sending scouts to like every single game.
Just say yes.
And rumors are rumors.
Make me feel good.
All right, fine. Yes.
In fantasy. Thank you. Thank you.
Getting crushed by a guy who doesn't even care about his team.
Yeah. Or by a guy who's starting 2 injured players and they've goose egged, obviously, and I'm still getting killed. Just give me one thing, sad. Scott. One thing, please. Please.
Very, very sad. Let's see what your score is right. Oof.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
It's still bad.
It's not pretty.
So yeah, dude, I guess that's like that mid-year thing. But to be honest with you, like I just hope that the team, they come out in the beginning of the season. They're electric. They're fun. Like that was last year. Like in the home opener last year against Chicago, with Jack scoring the overtime goal and then throwing his stick into the stands, the crowd was just on fire.
Yeah,
I walked out of there like on such a high because it was like I was like, man, we haven't had this feeling since Kovalchuk being on this team, or Taylor Hall. I guess Taylor Hall,
but a little bit with Taylor Hall
for a little bit, that bum. But I scumbag. But I mean, like, so seeing Jack do that, Dougie Hamilton scoring a goal in his Devils debut. Like last year's home opener was fantastic, and it was like a great way to start the season. I hope they can do something similar, and just carry that momentum. Maybe not get Jack murdered in the second game of the year. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I hope they don't go the way of the old Mets. The Mets have like the greatest record on opening day, and then after opening day, not so much anymore. So
it always looked good till early July.
Yeah,
the All-Star break, up to the All-Star break will look great, and then you can get tickets in August for like $10.
this year, different story, but
very.
In years past, it sounds very Mets-esque over there.
Scalpers.
Where if everybody could just have a career year, we're going to be fantastic. Yeah, I'm sure that's always bound to happen.
Not a lot to ask, right?
No, not at all.
It would just be nice to, the last couple seasons we've had pretty good starts, and then it just falls apart within the first month. To go, to be doing well into December would be an improvement. Usually by mid-November we're like, oh, here we go again. But I'd like to at least get through December and still have hope. That would be very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that would be good.
Yeah. I just to get to closer to the trade deadline where we're like you said before, Shorts Guy, like not who are we going to get rid of? Do you know what I mean? Like, what draft picks are we going to get for this guy? Like, what deals can we make? That conversation is always fun because it's within the moment of what it is. It's like, the Devils drafting high in the draft again. Like, oh, it's a cool conversation to have, but damn, am I done having it? Like, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's because your team sucks is the reason why you're having that conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Your team sucks. That's why
is.
you're having that conversation. And I'm tired of the Devils sucking, and I'm tired of that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, oh man. Like there's a lot of young fans that don't understand like what the 90s felt like going into like when this team started being good. Do you know what like watching them in the early 2000s like, man, oh man, this is fantastic. We'll never lose.
It's like we could couldn't lose.
And like being in the playoffs was just a guarantee. Yeah,
we were.
Spoiled.
Yeah, we were totally spoiled.
Totally spoiled.
Like the playoff run
every year.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It was like no matter what. The Mets can be horrible. The Giants, who knows? They're a toss-up. I was like, I always have the Devils to rely on in the playoffs every single year.
Yep.
I mean, used to it.
That came to a crashing halt about 10 years ago.
Yeah. We took it for granted. We took it for granted.
God, just to go back in like 2000 to 2003, that little time span. What a couple of years to be alive. Young, dumb, and full of hockey. Those are some good times
it was
too.
Great,
like,
man.
God.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is like you look at some of those teams and you go back and you watch some of the highlights and you're like, man, like Marty, and then you look at the defense in front of him, and then Elias and Langenbrunner and Friesen, and like there's always some dude. Lou just knew the magic sauce. He could find some dude, make some trade where you're like, why are you getting rid of Sikora? And then you're like, oh, it's Jeff Friesen's guy. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Jeff Friesen. One of the unsung heroes of those early 2000s teams, and another one of those prime playoff performers.
Oh yeah, that Ottawa series.
Oh man, yeah. When the playoffs came, that dude just knew how to turn it on and take it to that next level. And he was so key in winning that cup. Oh man, I can still remember that when he scored that second goal. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Ruppert, gets the game winner, of course, but that second goal, man, that one that just kind of sealed the deal there late in the game. That's what I always remember.
Success. Back when we had success.
I like that you could see all three of us, not even just like thinking about it, but truly like just kind of going back in time, astro projecting into like the past.
Remember when we had
where it was?
That unbeaten streak against the Rangers lasted 4
Oh
years.
yeah. Oh
yeah.
God, yeah.
That was great.
Going to Madison
great.
Square Garden, either it was a tie or a win. It was a good time.
The old ties.
The days of the tie.
Days of the tie. Some people are like, a tie? You could tie in hockey? What is that?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy too? Like it's been so long since they introduced the shootout that there's people that don't even remember. Like they'll look at somebody's record and be like, what the hell is this like 200, 101, and 53? What's that 53 thing? What does that mean? It's like, those
when
are
did
ties.
the shootout come? It was after one of the
It was
Olympics,
from
right?
the lockout. No, it was the lockout.
From the lockout.
I think it was 04.
Oh,
After the 04 lockout,
Yeah,
they
'cause
came
I
back with it.
I remember there was a shootout on opening night, and we were watching it in the parking lot, I think, Sam, weren't we? That season?
I don't remember. We were too busy winning.
Brain is filled with bonbons and bong resin or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I forget what that line is.
Oh man.
Was there a
Yeah,
niner
back
in
when
there?
we-
Did I catch a niner? Yeah,
Are you talking on a walkie-talkie?
you're the one with the
Oh
thick
man.
candy shell.
Off the rails.
So
again.
how many days are we away from camp opening up? It was only like a couple weeks, right? Like 3 weeks?
I think so.
Sooner
Yeah,
than
right.
that.
Isn't it like a month? Not even a
It's
month.
got to be sooner than
Oh,
that
yeah.
because the home openers.
does have to be
What
sooner
the
3
15th?
weeks.
15th.
Yeah.
Come on,
Camp's
Sam.
gotta
You're
open
supposed to be a stats guy, the producer / stats
Seriously.
guy. Come on, man. You got computers at your fingertips
focused.
over there.
I'm focused on the beefalytics right now.
Oh, well.
He's focusing
We
on
did-
keeping my internet alive. That's what Sam's
Yeah.
focused on.
Oh, my God.
You're looking good right now,
Beef-
shorts guy.
Well,
Beef
let's put it this way. Camp's got to open up this week because our first preseason game is a week from tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it does open
Yeah.
this week. I don't know.
Yeah. See how informed and up to date we are.
I can see
yeah.
the
Hey,
comments.
Man, we're in the off season.
I think. Yeah. Didn't we? Why won't my? Oh man. I think my internet's giving out now, or at least it's just not working on my phone. Oh yeah, I've been trying to like when the hell is the damn training camp start? Season
Gotta be
starts
this
on the
week.
7th. What day do we start? We start on the 9th,
I'm
right?
checking- You know who tell
It's
me?
13th.
Amanda Stein's going to tell me right
The
now.
13th.
I'm looking it up.
13th
going
against
to-
Philly. We're home on the 15th against Detroit.
Oh, do they have a series thing like overseas or something?
Wolf.
Yeah. So
Devils
yeah,
lost
next
7-4 to
Monday.
Buffalo.
I feel like,
Next Monday, yeah, it'll be our first preseason game against the Canadiens.
Camp's got to open this week then.
Will
Yeah.
Slavkovsky be playing against Nemitz?
That's a good question.
Ooh,
That's a
good
good
question,
question.
Sam Wu. Very good question. I can't remember. We had this. I had this the other day. Because I mean, I guess didn't the rookies already like start now?
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah,
prospect.
the rookie prospect game is going on, and then they took him to
Yeah.
Niagara Falls.
September
Hey,
14th
sure.
was for rookies. I think it's this week that they start.
Shorts guy, Ryan Mann in the YouTube live says, "Is that Shorts guy or Machine Gun Kelly?"
With that hair, it's the hair.
Yeah, I know.
It's a slick look.
It's not gonna be around. Not gonna be around for much longer. I do have to get it cut. But no, it's Shorts Guy. It's not Machine Gun Kelly. If it was Machine Gun Kelly, if I was Machine Gun Kelly, I'd have a ton more money. That's for sure.
That's true.
And a pink guitar.
And a pink guitar with a lot of money.
With a lot of money.
And Megan Fox. And a lot of money.
And a lot of money.
But there's more. You could be from Cleveland. He's from Cleveland, so. And a lot of money.
So they start this week. I can't find what actual day.
Wouldn't it be nice if they actually announced it?
I think they did.
I could have swore that we said it.
I'm trying to go backwards.
It's happening this week. After Prospect Challenge is over.
Right.
Devils play Boston Bruins tomorrow at 10 a.m. up in Buffalo. And after that
Prospect Challenge?
Yeah. I would assume that it would, players will start filing in. That's where they do all the promos and sign all the pucks, before they actually get to training camp. And that's where the Devils, really overhype everything, as they're walking in. Manestein tweeting out, oh my goodness, Dougie Hamilton just walked right by me.
He did? Why is he in your house?
Oh, boy.
Just got real quiet real quick.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So this week, they're reporting. So that should be good. That should be fun.
Hey, dude.
Be excited, man. Next week, first preseason game.
Yeah, we'll get to watch it on.
Who will they have in net?
Jeez.
Will it be Mackenzie Blackwood? Will it be Vanacek?
They need someone. I can fill in if needed.
Get that e-bug.
I'm ready.
Yes, Sam.
Final thoughts?
Yes.
Who's going first?
I'll start. I'll start.
Okay.
Final thoughts. Two things. Camp is opening up. We get to watch Devils hockey a week from tomorrow, and I hate Optimum Internet.
That's a good call. It's a good call. I'll follow you up on this. I'm excited to get back into season form. I've been off the podcast for the last couple of weeks, just taking a little hiatus. I can't even speak words, so clearly
hiatus.
Hiatus. So
if it was shapes and colors, you'd be fine.
Shapes and colors, that'd be all right, man. Blue, purple, green. Here we go. But yeah, I'm just pumped for the season to go, and I'm pumped for our 5-year anniversary. 5-year anniversary. So here we go.
Yeah. We didn't even get to talk about that very much. So awesome logo there, designed by the very own Beer Baron. You can see it in the corner. 5 years. That's crazy. It's crazy.
I know. It's wild.
And we couldn't have done it without everybody on Facebook and Twitter.
Absolutely.
And YouTube. So thank you for all the likes, the follows, the subscribes, and everything. We do love it. And we're going to get back into mid-season form here with training camp starting. Josh is asking us who scores more goals this season, Brad or Sharon Govich. I'll tell you this, Josh. I hope it's actually Sharon Govich, and I want to see Brad as the assist man over there. But hopefully that means Sharon Govich got something closer to 30 and Brad somewhere in the 20s, and that would be just fine and all right with me. So that's how I'm going to wrap it up.
All right.
And I'll turn it back over to the great Sam Wu.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of great things happening for season 6. And we'll have more on opening night, what we're going to be doing. And also, Devils After Dark will be back this season. Game Day Live, the Woo Report.
Yeah.
State of the Fan Address. We're going to have it all back at you, doing a podcast starting today. Took a little hiatus, but thank you very much.
It's a hiatus, according to Beer Baron. The hiatus.
The hiatus.
We're going to start winning again, folks. We're going to start winning again. That's all I have to say. Till next time, let's go Devils.